Alright, so we got a, pretty fun short notice matchup here. Big Ben Rothwell versus Chris Huggy Bear Barnett. Alright, so Chris Barnett making his UFC debut. I think he's going to be at a pretty big size disadvantage here. I think Big Ben's going to have a sizable reach advantage, probably like a 10, maybe 9-inch reach advantage. And he has a 7-inch height advantage, and that's locked in, but I do think the reach advantage is going to be quite large as well. Alright, so we'll break down the striking of these two. So for Chris Barnett, he likes to switch stance quite frequently. Likes to strike from either stance. I don't think his stand-up has too much structure. He throws a lot of singular shots, like, probably his favourite punch is the counter two, or the counter overhand, and he will just kind of wing hooks at pocket with his chin in the air. He does go for nice inside leg kicks, but a lot of his stuff is just kind of flashy techniques. And for Ben Rothwell, he's got that awkward footwork, he's got that awkward upper body movement, he's pretty plodding, he just comes forward like a zombie, but, he doesn't stop coming forward, and he's constantly moving his head off the center line as he throws. Like, he's not just a sitting duck, and he does throw heat back, like he is a big guy, Big Ben. And Chris Barnett, he's got a pretty small frame for the heavyweight division, and he does keep his hands low at all times, so it is a little bit concerning. But in the clinch, I think Ben can really dominate. Like, he has nice dirty boxing uppercuts. I think he'll hit the body of Chris quite a fair bit. I think he'll be able to use his size to really muscle Chris around in the clinch. And I think, he's going to dominate in the clinch. But, Ben Rothwell, he does leave openings. Like, he is quite hittable. He will, lead with a lead left hook, or he will lead with a left rip to the body, and he can leave himself quite open. Like, when he is trying to just be a little unorthodox on the feet. And for the grappling, Ben has that, nice 10-finger guillotine choke that he uses to defend takedowns, and also if the opponent's turtled. I mean, that technique is nice. And how these guys win fights, so for Huggy Bear, Chris Barnett, he has good athleticism. Yeah, you wouldn't expect it, but he does. And for Chris, Ben Rothwell, he has a granite chin. How these guys lose fights, so for Chris Barnett, striking tendencies for Ben Rothwell, it's the fact that he's hittable, and I think, poor visuals as well. Like, his striking is a lot more effective than it looks. Judges obviously don't rate it that highly, because he's lost a few, very close split decisions and decisions lately. So I do think they kind of underestimate or underrate the striking and the damage and the effectiveness of Ben Rothwell's striking. But yeah, it is what it is. Pass to victory for these two. So for Chris Barnett, look for leg kicks, look to swing hooks in the pocket, just get in the pocket pretty much. Look to disengage from the clinch, look for flying knees in close. As he's coming forward, look for the flying knee. And for Ben Rothwell, look to, get in his face, push him against the fence, tee off when he's near the fence. And if you do get caught in an exchange, look to clinch up. I think you can control the clinch from there, and then even if you are hurt, you can clinch up. Uppercuts in the clinch, body shots in the clinch. Yeah. And, even if Chris does, decide to level change and go for a takedown, I think that the way that he shoots plays right into that choke that you go for, the 10-finger guillotine choke. And I think you should go for that if he does go for the takedown. Alright, so how I see this fight going. So, yeah, not gonna lie, I never expected Huggy Bear to make it to the UFC. This was very unexpected, honestly. Like, if you don't know him, he's a bit of a meme fighter. Like, he's short, he's chubby, but he goes for, flying knees, 720 spinning roundhouse kicks and shit like that. Like, he's a fan favourite because of his fighting style, but also he's, generally a lovely dude, and he's a very nice guy. But, skills-wise, he'll basically lose to anybody who isn't a total can, pretty much. Even at this stage of Rothwell's career, I still think this is a big mismatch. He could catch, Huggy Bear could catch Rothwell off guard, early, because it's heavyweight and one punch can kill, but I just don't see it. I think Big Ben walks through all the punches of Chris Barnett and eventually just finds the chin, or just gets in the clinch, dominates the clinch. I think he could just pretty much win however he wants, honestly. Chris Barnett, very small for heavyweight, terrible pummeling game. I think Ben Rothwell's just going to dominate the clinch. And that's worst case scenario, if he's finding success on the feet. But I think he will find success on the feet. I think he can pretty much win wherever he wants. But, it's Ben Rothwell in 2021. So I'm not rushing to the betting window to pay juice on a lower level heavyweight fight where the guy that I want to bet on is pushing 40 years old. So if I were to bet this fight, I'd probably just keep it small but I am quite confident Ben Rothwell does get it done here. So yeah, this is good old parry match again. Odds are now on best fight odds. But yeah, I do favour Rothwell like 75 to 80% of the time. I think this is a pretty big mismatch. Size is going to be a huge factor. I think Rothwell KOs him in either round 1 or 2. One bet I was looking at was Rothwell inside the distance. Like, it hasn't come out yet, but if I get like $1.80 or minus 125, then I'd definitely bet that. If you don't want to pay too much juice on Rothwell, but at this price, at $1.42, I think that's fine. I think I'm going to play anything that is over $1.40 for the money line for Ben Rothwell. So yeah, I'm pretty confident Ben does get it done. I just think it's a huge mismatch, skills-wise, but also just massive size discrepancy.